A sheriff's patrol unit was plunged over the side of the Kern River Canyon after a collision with another vehicle. It happened near the Rich Bar campground about 5:45 Tuesday evening. Inside, a deputy unconscious and a female inmate. A witness who wished to remain anonymous stopped to help.
She was conscious, so I sat her down and immediately tried to save the officer's life. I just immediately tried to save his life, and he was in bad shape.
Tragically, the deputy was pronounced dead at Kern Medical Center, where his comrades huddled together in shock.
Everybody's in a state of shock. A lot of them were very close to the deputy, and a lot of their spouses were close to the family too, so it's a tough time.
Investigators say the deputy was transporting an inmate from the Kern River Valley area to the downtown Bakersfield jail when the crash happened. Special investigators with the California Highway Patrol were summoned to pore over the scene to determine exactly what happened.
Well, they're involved in things that beyond the scope of the area, and they have the equipment because of the drop-off and the distance. We can't just roll a measuring tape down to do it, so they've got the computer-aided stuff.
It's a tragedy.
A quiet neighborhood interrupted by tragedy as the Kern County coroner pulls two bodies out of a home on Hodges Avenue. A neighbor noticed there had been no sign of the couple for a week, so she called police.
Just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, officers came to this residence in the 1900 block of Hodges to check the welfare of the residents who had not been seen or heard from in several days. As the officers walked up to the garage, they detected a foul odor coming from it, made entry into the garage, and located a deceased adult male inside a vehicle in the garage along with two dogs.
Police found the man hunched over, his two dead dogs right by his side. And inside the home, they found the body of a woman with obvious signs of trauma. Neighbors say the signs point to a murder-suicide, but they can't believe it could happen to the seemingly happy couple who often had yard sales.
They've been having a lot of yard sales lately, and this past weekend they didn't have one. So we were just wondering what was going on.
The couple's home is up for sale, and many neighbors say not seeing their weekend garage sale was a sign something was wrong.
We've been walking around the streets for a few days, and it's been smelling real bad, so.
And no activity out of that home
No.
the past couple of days?
Usually they're out and about doing things in the front yard and stuff, and haven't seen them for a while.
Now investigators are left to find out how and why this couple died.
No one deserves to get beaten.
No,
okay?
no, never.
Remember
Bakersfield police detectives went to Maria Morales' home Thursday night to arrest the man they say has been abusing her.
I never deserved to be beaten like that, and there was no need. If he didn't want to live with me no more, he could have just taken off.
Morales says eventually he did take off, but not before leaving her with two black eyes. Now she has a message for other women in the same situation.
Don't hold back. I mean, tell somebody and just leave him. Leave that person, because they do this every time. They promise you, oh, I'm sorry, baby, I'll never do it again. And they do the same thing. A man that beats a woman once will always do it again.
Morales had the courage to talk about it, but officers say a lot of victims are too afraid. That's why they're combing the streets on the hunt to track down suspects.
Once the assault has occurred, unfortunately, they go through this episode, the cycle of violence, the tension phase, the explosion, which is the assault, the honeymoon phase, so that the suspect returns to the residence and pledges not to do it again.
But officers say it almost always happens again. This man is one of dozens that was rounded up on domestic violence charges. Detective Herman Caldas says the worst part for him is seeing the damage it does to families.
Children crying, please don't take my daddy away. Or the children just crying, and they just run out of air telling you, my daddy hit my mom.
Officers say it's important to arrest abusers now because domestic violence can be a gateway to other crimes.
Half of these gangsters out here that are committing drive-by shootings and homicides, they all come from battered homes.
Caldas wants victims to know they can help.
I want you to remember that you're not here alone. We're here to help you.
Melissa Knievel, 17 News.
It happened around 5 tonight on Stockdale Highway and Fairway. Officers say 2 cars came speeding at 80 miles per hour through an intersection that had a red light, and one of the racing cars then hit a car who was going through the green light. The woman inside that car died instantly.
My door faces Ash, and we've had like 3 accidents within the last month and a half. It's really bad, and it's just a lot of fast driving, and I think this area here is just not safe the way it's set up.
The other person in the car that was hit was trapped and rescued by city firefighters. That man is said to be in critical condition tonight. The driver that police say caused this crash was driving with a child inside, and he could face several related charges.
The potential to go to my second Olympic Games, it's an awesome feeling. I mean, I couldn't be happier.
Intervals down below, 35, 50, 105, heart rate greater than.
We've already won the silver medal. We're not going back to try and win the silver medal again. You know, if that's the way the chips fall, great, but we're going there, like you said, gold or bust. Why repeat, what you've done before? You always want to exceed that bar of your previous best. I think I have as good a chance as anybody. I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was going to win it, or think that I was going to win it. But everyone in that race thinks that they're going to win it. And I believe that my speed has come a long ways in the past 4 years. Everything I've worked for years, everything, it'd mean everything to me and my family.
Some say it's the noise. Others argue it's the smoky trail, but all agree that nothing seems to compare to the thrill of being near these nostalgic hot rods. Dean Lindsay is racing a 67 Chevy Nova 2, equipped to churn out 1,200 horsepower.
A lot of adrenaline rush. It's fun. It's good.
Lindsay was able to win this heat in under 8 seconds at just over 175 miles an hour.
The thrill's unbelievable. You can't explain it. You just almost have to experience it to feel what it's like. It's such an adrenaline rush. That's why we do this.
Organizers say over 25,000 are in attendance today, and that includes a lot of families.
I like everything about racing. My granddaughter junior drag races. My husband builds race motors.
Hot rodding traditionally brings out the guys, but lately many younger women are turning an eye to the sport.
Where we live, everyone has a Mercedes or something high class, and everywhere here it's all like old cars.
Racers and visitors from around the world come to see this, the next best thing to a rocket launch.
Accelerate to 250 miles an hour in 6 seconds. That's way more extreme than any other sport on the planet.
Even with the millions that the event brings to Kern County, most are simply satisfied with a good day at the raceway. In McFarland, Ramirez, 17 News.